Welcome back to Coach Factory. This is the channel where we talk about your coaching business, how to have more fun and make more money. Now, I have been doing business on the internet for a very long time. I look younger than I am. I was a digital agency many years ago. I worked on a Fortune 100 company's website and cut my teeth doing hard things, basically disrupting an entire large organization with the internet. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the internet is how people do business. They didn't want to hear it back then. So I started working with much smaller businesses and it was a lot easier. But I got to see a lot of things. And one of the things I learned very early from a lot of internet marketers was the money is in the list. And for the longest time, when I ran my husband's coaching business, the money was in the list. He would create a product, he would get it produced, he'd get it all designed up and pretty, and we'd do a landing page and we'd hit his list, and boom, it was like printing money. Money would come in every time he would launch a product, and it was almost insane how easy it all was. The money was in the list. Now, I have noticed in 2025 that email is different. Now, think about how you approach your email. Does it sound like this? You wake up in the morning and you immediately delete everything that doesn't require your attention, that is just sort of a nice, why did I even subscribe to this list type of thing? And you keep your email inbox rather clean and try to hit that inbox zero. I have numerous emails that I manage. I even have to manage my aging mom's email and my husband's email. And so I have a routine every morning to go in and clean out their email inboxes, and I end up just cleaning out mine and basically looking at subject lines, seeing if anything piques my interest, and I delete most of the emails that I receive. Is that you? Is that your prospects? Are they deleting your emails before they even read them? Do they read the subject line and just delete them because they're going for inbox zero, because they're busy, because they're overwhelmed with the number of people who have heard the adage that the money is in the list? People are overwhelmed with the amount of emails that they receive, and they're overwhelmed with all of the social networks they have to manage, and they're overwhelmed with all of the various content that's coming at them. So what do? When you are trying to make a connection with somebody who has signed up to your list, they've indicated to you they're interested in hearing more from you. What inspired them to do that? Are you asking? Do you know? Are they subscribing to you because of a particular piece of content that you put out? Are you tracking that? Sometimes you just don't know where someone is coming from. You might not even be collecting their first name. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of businesses are not just asking for your email address, they're also asking for your phone number so that they can text you. These people know people are overwhelmed with email, so they're hoping they won't be overwhelmed with text messages. But think about your phone. Think about those people that you've signed up to receive text messages from. Do you delete those immediately too? I do. I think a lot of people do. People are just overwhelmed with the amount of information that is coming at them. How many times are you mailing your list on a weekly or monthly basis? And what are you sending them? Are you sending them a longer email that takes longer time to get through? Or are you sending them short bits of information? Now, there are a couple of people whose newsletters I have subscribed to, and they're incredibly short. They have one piece of information. I have found that I will open those. There is one person who has very educational content on YouTube, and whenever he posts a video, he also emails to his list with a link to that video, and that's pretty much it. There's some other marketing stuff at the bottom, but I'll open that because I see that he has a new video, and I'll go watch that video if it seems like something that's interesting. Those emails I open pretty much all the time. The statistics show this as well. Open rates are starting to decrease. Across all industries, the open rate is around 42%, with variations that go down as low to 22% in the travel industry and up to 60% in religious sectors. But it's hard to tell what these open rates are really telling us, because there are services like Apple's Mail Privacy Protection, or MPP, which is pre-fetching emails, and it is inflating those open rates artificially. So now many email experts are starting to dismiss open rates as an indicator of how engaged a list might actually be. Of course, you can look at click-through rates and see how well those are faring. Now, the number for click-through rates are much lower, of course, than open rates, but the rates for cold emails have dipped in 2025 down to 1 to 5%, where in 2024 the average was 5.1%, which was 7% in 2023. So all industries are starting to see this, that cold emails or broadcast emails are just not getting the responsiveness that they once were. So as coaches, what are we to do? When we've been told so many times the money's in the list, it's the most important thing to put out content and get people to subscribe to get more information, get a free download based on the content that you're putting out. This does not seem to be working. Even though some people are collecting cell numbers for SMS communication, I mean, the same type of thing is happening where people are overwhelmed and just deleting those. I just got a phone call from a number that I don't recognize, and as usual, I didn't answer it. What are we supposed to do as coaches when the old way isn't working anymore? Well, we have to evolve. We have to understand the problem that our audience has. They are overwhelmed with information. They are overwhelmed with offers. First of all, try to personalize emails. Try to find out what has inspired a prospect to get on your list. If you aren't tracking that, ask them. Thanks for signing up to my list. This is really me writing you. I would like to know what kind of information you're interested in. What inspired you to get on my list? 90% of the time, they're not going to answer and you won't know. But sometimes somebody will write back, oh yeah, I saw this YouTube video that you had and this was really interesting. Start a conversation with that person. Offer them a free call where you can just jump on a Zoom and chat about where they're at. Don't make it a sales call. Make it an information gathering call so you can better understand who your prospects are and provide something of service to them. Give them more at the beginning than you ask of them. The more information you can give prospects, the more help you can provide them, the more of a connection that you are going to make with them, the more memorable you are going to be to them because you are being of service, you are trying to help them, you are not selling them. People are overwhelmed with offers, so putting an offer right in front of someone from the get-go, you're just going to be drowned in the noise. You have to get to know who people are, have a conversation with them, and get to know where their pain points are, how you can be of service. Even if you're directing them to other content that you found elsewhere, just being of service. The goal here isn't to sell. The goal here is to establish who you are, to establish your brand, to be as helpful as possible. And when you are emailing your list, personalize. When you know who people are, let's say, for example, you have a sign-up form on a particular blog post about a specific topic and people are subscribing through that, write to them about that particular topic and give them more information around that topic, not something general. Otherwise, you're just going to be deleted before you're ever read. Personalize the information that you're providing to people based on how they've found you and what they are interested in. Any kind of sign-up form, try to collect as much information within hidden fields as possible so that you know who these people are so you can personalize the conversation. The next thing you need to do is to not send long emails. The day of the newsletter, I think, is ending. People are reading emails that they know are going to get straight to the point. You have tons of things like Substack where somebody could subscribe to your blog or your thought pieces and get those things emailed to you. But 90% of the time, people are going to delete those unless it is very, very specific to a topic that is of interest specifically to them. They aren't going to read every single thing that you write. So really personalize the emails and make them short. If you have a new blog post that is of interest or a video that is of interest to a certain segment of your list, send out a very short email. I know you're interested in this topic. You might be interested in this. This is what it's about. And be very specific about what they get if they click on that. Be known as the person who sends short and to the point emails that people can dive deeper if it is of interest to them. Email is changing. Your prospects, every single one of them, are as overwhelmed as you are. So you have to change how you're communicating to them. Give more information multiple times and establish yourself as the person who is known for solving the problems in a specific niche. Establish your brand. Consider every email that you send as another way to establish who you are, to establish the fact that you are known as the person who solves a specific problem, because that way you get referrals. That way, when somebody does have a pressing problem, they reach out to you. Your job with email isn't to sell anymore. The money isn't in the list. The money is in the connection. So it's your job as the coach to make that impression and to make that connection. And you can only do it by meeting your prospects where they are. Long emails aren't going to do it. Emailing every single day isn't going to do it. Being very specific, being very personal, and being very short is going to make you memorable. So I'd like to know your experiences dealing with email right now. First of all, as someone who receives email, receiving too many, who's the worst offender? Who's the best person that emails you where you're like, I'm going to open this person's email every single time? I'm curious, what patterns are you seeing as it relates to email? And how is that changing the way you email as a coach? Hope this discussion was helpful, and we'll see you next time on Coach Factory.